Hi Periscopers, how's it going? Hi y'all, how you doing today? How's everyone doing tonight? It is Monday. Hi Wendy, great to have you joining me on Periscope tonight. Hi Brittany, Got a couple Brittany's on here tonight. That's awesome. I love that name, one of my favorite names. Hi Jeannie, good to see you. Hey, I love my Periscoping friends. Maddie, thanks for the hearts y'all. Liz, got purple and yellow and green. Keep the hearts coming tonight, you guys. Okay, I'm telling it, girls. Susan, I'm ready. The one thing, I'm going to tell it right up front. No fear. You cannot have fear. And this is the funny thing, is I figured that I've already Periscoped on this so many times. Oh, hey, Chris. How's it going? Yeah, you liked my hair? You guys, okay, I'm going to introduce myself for any of you who don't know me, okay? Jim is scoping. Awesome. I know. Jim Bob knows this, though. I've already taught him this, so he knows this. Otherwise, oh, thanks. My hairstylist is Periscoping with us tonight. He chose my color, said I need to be a little blonder, so thanks, Chris, for that. Okay, here's the deal. Oh, you came, Susan? I saw you from Jim Bob. That is awesome. Okay, so I know Jim Bob was Periscoping at the same time as me tonight. That's okay, though. I will catch his replay. He has already learned this from me. You guys, I really thought that I have told you this before, but earlier today, in fact, first thing this morning, I'm talking to a client, and I'm telling them, please go to my website and watch the replays about fear. And then I went to my website and I could not find my replays about fear. So I'm like, dang it, I've got to do this over again because y'all, this is the number one most important thing. You have to learn this. This is the foundation for everything. Thanks, Wendy, TrinaTitusLozano.com. There's my website. So past Periscopes are on that site, but there's not a Fearscope on there yet. So I've got to do this today. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Trina Titus Lozano, and I am a counselor and an ordained Christian minister. So everything that I tell people, all of my advice comes straight from the Bible, from a biblical perspective, and it is life-changing. I promise you that, because it is truth, and the truth will set you free. So this is the number one scripture that I'm going to use. Thanks so much, Wendy. Okay, Deuteronomy 31:8. The Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. You guys, hundreds of times in the Bible, including many times in the Christmas story, over and over and over and over again, fear not, fear not, fear not. Okay, this is interesting. And this scripture tells you, because why? Because God is with you. In fact, when Jesus was born in the manger, that's what his name means. Emmanuel, God with us. Okay, here's the bottom line, y'all. He's with you. He will never leave you. He will never forsake you. You cannot be afraid, though. That is the trade-off. You can't have fear and faith at the same time. And when you are afraid, and we're afraid of so many things, but when we're afraid, the problem is it sends you in such a state of worry and anxiety. All anxiety is fear-based. But here's the deal. If you believe that you have no power over your fear, that's going to be a problem. If you believe that you have no power over your fear, that's going to be a problem. So the wrong belief is clearly this way. There you go. I love that. That's right. On Charlie Brown Christmas. The wrong belief is, this is going to sound right to you, y'all, but this is wrong. The wrong belief is, I have no control over my fear. So because I have no control over my fear, I'm going to avoid every fear-producing situation. So if I'm afraid of it and I can't handle facing my fear, I'm going to avoid it. Okay? That gets you in trouble. You won't hit the mark. So I'm telling you guys, you won't grow, you won't hit the mark. So Susan, here's the deal. No matter what you could be afraid of. Okay, a lot of people are afraid of loneliness. They're afraid of being alone. So they might stay in a bad relationship. They might stay in an abusive relationship, or they might just stay by not introducing themselves to people, not getting to know new people. Why? Because they're afraid of being alone. Y'all, newsflash, you don't have any power over, everyone else anyway. So you can't, that's right, you can't live in a cave. I mean, I guess you can, but then you'd be for sure that you're alone, okay? But you don't have any power to make somebody be with you anyway. So why are you so worried about it? But you know what? If you're afraid of being alone, you're going to come off wrong. You're going to come off as desperate. You're going to come off as needy, and it's just going to push people away. Because literally, you don't really, goals and desires. Now, goals and desires is on my website, by the way, Sade. So thanks for mentioning that. That's right. So, but your attitude is your goal. So your attitude, we get to choose your attitude. Remember, we are not a victim of our emotions. So if you are afraid of being alone, if you are afraid of rejection, if you are afraid of failure, so you don't even try. But you guys, my grandma's periscoping with us right now. What's so bad about being wrong? What's so bad about being rejected? You're going to recover. What's so bad about being wrong? You can make it right. I know that's easy for me to say today. I don't know how Steve Harvey's feeling today after his universal mistake last night about being wrong. But you know what? We're all going to be wrong sometimes, okay? And what are you going to do? Why should you be afraid of it? Why should you be afraid of it? You don't have the power to make sure that you'll never be wrong. Newsflash, y'all. You're gonna be wrong someday. You're gonna mess up. You're gonna make a mistake. All of us know that experience. We've all experienced whenever we're just like, and you get brain freeze and you get so nervous that something happens. Afraid of the dark? You're afraid of your own shadow? That's so funny. You know what? I always say, hey, turn on the light. It's okay. There's nothing to be afraid of. And I started teaching my kids this when they were so little. And I would just literally tell them over and over again, there's nothing to be afraid of. God is with us. Your angels are with you. That is right, Susan. So face your fear. Tell yourself, what is the worst case scenario? What's the worst case scenario? You know, the boogeyman. I mean, the worst case scenario is failing and announcing the wrong Miss Universe. Okay, that might be the worst case scenario. No kidding. But anyway, what is the worst case scenario? You know, the worst case scenario is, I don't know, the whole world is making fun of me. I mean, really? It's okay. He's going to be okay. Steve Harvey might not be famous for what he wanted to be famous for. But life goes on. If he is able to take this with a grain of salt, if he's able to give himself a break, have a sense of humor about it, you know, he's got to be able to move on. Y'all, what's so bad about being wrong? Honestly, there's nothing to be afraid of. I love Psalm 23. I read that with you guys over the weekend. Psalm 23 is incredible. I won't be afraid. I won't be afraid. So you guys, this is the one thing that is going to help you hit the mark. This will make you hit the mark every time. That you got to do the self-talk. You got to do the self-talk. Like my granddaughter Faith did when I was pushing her on the swing. She saw this dog and she tends to get really nervous when she sees a dog, so she's afraid. And she starts quoting the scripture. Do not be afraid, for I am with you. Do not be discouraged, for I am your God. Another scripture, that's in Isaiah. Over and over and over and over again. Over 300 times in the Bible. The Bible says, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Fear not. Fear not. Fear not. Why? Because I'm with you. Emmanuel, God with us, is because he's with us. So we need to feel God's presence. And that now she pets dogs at the park. See Sade? She'll go to see her neighbor's dog, you know? I mean, she is overcoming the fear because she is trading it. It is a trade-off to say, you know, I'm not going to be afraid. I'm going to be strong and courageous. You guys, you know what being brave means and having courage? Having courage literally means telling your story with your whole heart. So when you tell your story and you literally admit your fears, you say, you know, this situation makes me nervous. This situation I could tend to be afraid of. But when you verbalize that and you talk it out with someone and then you talk all the way through it and you say, but what's the worst case that can happen? You know, maybe I will fail. Oh, well, so what? I'm going to pick myself up and I'll learn a lesson. What if I get rejected? Oh, well, so what? At least I tried. I'll try something different next time. You know, did I miss something? Oh, Susan, maybe I didn't read that. Say it again. Say it again. I'll try to read it again. What was the boom? What was the bam? I missed it, y'all. It's so, sometimes I don't read everything and I get the messages a little bit late on this side of the Periscope, but I love your feedback. So keep commenting. It's so much fun to Periscope with you guys. But you guys are getting the point. What's so bad about being wrong? Nothing. But we have to acknowledge the fact you don't have the power anyway. So any sort of fear-based thinking makes you want to control more. You have to leave the safety of the trunk of the tree to get to the sweet fruit in your life. Aw, that's awesome. People's opinions are just that, their opinions, but God says that we have been bought through Christ. Exactly. Those are great things, you guys. Thanks for your feedback. You guys, we don't have the power, really, to avoid every fear-producing situation. If we allow our mind to go that way, we could literally be afraid of everything, afraid of everything. So next time you get in a situation that tends to be that thing that gives you a little bit of anxiety, whether it be dogs or heights or periscoping twice a day or talking in front of people or rejection or, failure, on and on and on. Oh, I had a client that I was talking about earlier today, and here was her fear. Afraid of making the wrong decision. Again, that's a fear of failure, fear of being wrong. So what if you make the wrong decision? At least make a decision, and you'll figure out if it's right or wrong eventually. Then if it's wrong, you could switch it up and try something different, But don't be afraid. That's right, Susan. It will paralyze you. That fear will paralyze you. You will never hit the mark when you're afraid. So don't be afraid, y'all. Don't be afraid. Fear not, and move forward in your life. Aim at that target. I love the scripture that says, with God, all things are possible. I mean, I do my part. God does his part. With God, all things are possible. So I'm going to aim myself towards that target. I'll hit the target, and then God will bring the reward. But I cannot be afraid to be in the game. So you guys, fear not. Be strong and courageous, okay? Be brave. Be brave. Philippians 4:13 is a great scripture. Thank you for putting that up there. You guys, be brave. Don't be afraid to be alone, because really it's optional, because there's people everywhere that would love to be with you. Just go out there and find them. Go out there and find them. But for sure, avoid that pit of self-pity, okay? And for sure, avoid fear. Avoid fear, y'all. Your faith is way greater than your fear. So be strong, courageous, be brave. That's my Periscope message for you guys tonight. And I'll get it on my website probably tomorrow so I can tell people to refer to it. What would you say to people afraid of surrendering their whole life to Jesus? Well, you know what? It's the same thing. They're afraid of being wrong. Good topic for you tonight, Chris? Okay, good. It's the same thing. If anybody is afraid of their faith, or afraid of really surrendering their life to Jesus, it's exactly the same thing. They're afraid of being wrong. What if it's the wrong religion? What if it doesn't work out for me? What if I'm not going to be a good Christian? What if? Give it a try. What are you afraid of? What's so bad about being wrong? Right, Grandma? My grandma Periscopes with me. Really, I always say to people who aren't Christians, okay, look, if I'm wrong, okay, if the Bible and everything that God teaches me in the Bible, if I'm wrong and heaven and hell, I die and it ends up not being a thing, okay? If I'm wrong about that, hey, I've still lived a great life. I've lived a great life of hope. I've lived a great life by a book of great wisdom, a great historical book of great wisdom out of the Bible. However, if you're wrong and you say that Jesus isn't real, that there is no heaven and hell, but if you're wrong and you die and you end up in hell, you're going to be like, it was a big mistake. I should have believed. So really, I don't have any risk in being wrong. But people who don't believe have a whole lot of risk. Plus, they don't get to live a great life of faith. So my grandma taught me that, and I always thought that was kind of funny. But anyway, we don't want to be wrong about that. So the Lord is with me. What can man do to me? He's the anchor in the waves. Good thing, you guys have got a lot of great scriptures. I love Psalms. I love Proverbs. Love the book of John. Love all of these scriptures. So I love my Bible, and I love talking about things that are going to help y'all have a better life. And I love the things that are going to help you hit the mark every time. Okay. I'm all about emotional health. I'm all about personal growth. So you guys grow personally, and anytime you feel a little bit tempted to be afraid, tell yourself, fear not, God is with me, and it's going to be okay. Okay, y'all? God bless you tonight, and have a great rest of the night, and I'll be back tomorrow at noon and 9 to Periscope with you. Check out my website for past Periscopes, TrinaTiuslozano.com. Good night, Susan. Good night, Chris. Good night, Sade. Good night, everybody else. Good night, Wendy. Love you guys. Good night, Brittany. Bye.